often I intro videos talking about Donald Trump's any ratings, any poll numbers, any approvals, anything, as he has a shit time in the polls. And we have that situation on our hands once again. We're going to be talking about some more hilarious, crazy numbers here. So here's what this article from NBC News says, and it's their poll. So here's what it says. It says, that question aside, a lopsided majority, 73% of those polled rejects Trump's self-assessed genius. 70% say he fails to acquit himself in a way that's fitting and proper for a president. 2/3 say he's harming his presidency with his use of Twitter, and 52% of him see as biased against blacks, soaring to 79% of blacks themselves. So what that says is, so if you guys recall, he had the stable genius tweet where he tweeted, saying, I'm paraphrasing, but he said something like, one of my key characteristics is that I'm a very stable genius. And that is obviously not true. And, I still think that he probably has some form of dementia because, as I've said before, there's been a few different, multiple occasions where he'll basically be in the White House and he's about to sign a law, and that's why the press is there. They're taking pictures and everything, and the dude he dips out of the room without signing. He just completely forgets. Just straight up forgets, and Pence has to go grab him like, yo, dog, Donnie, you forgot to sign the bill that you came in here to do. That was the whole point of coming in here, and the dude just dips out the room. So it definitely looks like he has forms of dementia. It looks like to me he even has trouble reading. But anyways, so back to here. He's obviously not a genius, as we've seen. A lot of the, here's a good example. So I'll give you the example of TJ Kirk. So I've seen a TJ Kirk video about his, it was about him firing James Comey. And so, he was going to take the BS reasons that, he wasn't performing well or whatever. But because Donald Trump gave a different answer to the question, I can't remember the name of the guy who was interviewing them, that was interviewing him, but he gave a different answer to that interviewer as to why he fired Comey than the rest of his staff did. And that's kind of how, he started to call out Trump, which shows that Trump is not a genius because he fucks himself over so many goddamn times. And, of course, he's a complete moron, complete and utter moron. And that's what we know. He's stupid as fuck. Now, here's something that's crazy from this. So, this poll has, it asked them if they think Trump is mentally stable. And 48%, only 48% say he is mentally stable, while 47% of people who were polled said that Trump is not mentally stable. Now, that is a crazy number because all you got there is literally a 1% lead for the mentally stable category, and that is absolutely crazy. Now, here's something else that they say. They say just 36% of Americans approve of Trump's job performance, while 58% disapprove, essentially unchanged since midsummer. So, he's been hovering between 36 through 38 in most polls, or at least the most bottom ones. And they talk about also how the tax bill is very unpopular by a majority of Americans, and also that do you have any idea how many people support DACA? 87% support DACA. 87% of people support DACA. I don't think I've seen an issue more lopsided than either the internet privacy law or the or net neutrality. I don't think I've seen anything more lopsided than that. Because again, and I've tried to tell you guys this over and over again, just quickly to talk about DACA. DACA is literally the most basic, fundamental, least extreme position to take on immigration, period, because you're talking about literal children who came here as children by no fault of their own. They came here. This is the only country they know. You're sending them back to a country that they don't know shit about because they didn't grow up in it. They're part of our communities now. They've been in our schools. They've been in our country, and they've grown up here. They've become part of society. They've become part of America, and you're gonna send them back, separating families. There was just a story the other day, and I tweeted about it. It was a 39-year-old man who came here when he was 9 years old, and now he just got deported. He's split up between his wife and 2 children. Could you imagine that? You come here when you're 9 years old, and you're now separated from your wife and 2 children. How just disgusting is that? I thought you guys were pro-life, pro-family. How's that pro-family? And it's just so disheartening. And again, just Trump polling, just complete garbage. And I'm glad to say so. Support independent progressive media by leaving a subscription down below. Leave a like and share the video. Help us out on Patreon, or you can donate in other ways. Links are in the description down below. We are fighting Trump tooth and nail, and we will continue to do so with your help.